Hello, how are you? This is Jilly Bling. I have a fun filled project for today, and this is going to be a Gotta Have It box, and that means if you purchase the bundle through me, I would love to send you 5 card kits, and this is number 1 of 5. And see how it's a fun fold? Actually, it's really pretty easy. After you have all the pieces cut, layering it, that's a breeze. And then doing just a little bit of coloring and a greeting. And then I was thinking, there's nowhere to write what you have to say. So that's why I added the back. So you can write there, and it fits in a regular size envelope. It folds down. So, Blessings of Home is what this Gotta Have It box is all about. And it comes with, the bundle is the stamp set and the dies, Flowers of Home. And then I also use color and contour, scallop contours, die for the words, for the sentiment. So let's get started. I have a couple of templates, and I'll leave these sitting here, and also I'll put pictures on my blog, and my blog is jillybling.com, and I'll put pictures of the templates too. But we will use white paper, a couple pieces of this black and white paper, which I love. The other side is florals. It's beautiful paper. It's called Perfectly Penciled. But we'll be using primarily these two. But look at all these prints. Do you just want to color that? Look at that one. Or even just coloring the background in this. Might take some time and a lot of markers. I was going to do stripes, but that was a little bit distracting. I think the color difference between the white and the black is a little bit stronger than these. These are a little bit easier on the eye. The stripes, it looks good. It would look great with this project too. Flowers, stripes, dots, flowers, but it's all black and white. Okay, so that's the paper, and this is in the annual catalog. This is new to us. Love that. Okay, so I will set these templates out here. Now go over them. So there's 2 templates, one for the card base and one for the movement. This one you cut to 4 1/4, 8 1/4 by 4 1/4. The smaller piece you cut to 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. Back to the big one, you scored at 5 1/2, and then to 6 1/2 or 1 additional inch, and you don't have to do anything with this piece. So score at 5 1/2 and 6 1/2. And then the movement piece, you scored at 4 1/4 and 5 1/4. So this 1 inch on both of them, that is for the 1 inch side and this 1 inch side. And I have tricks on assembling it so that you could get it perfectly flat to tuck into your envelope and mail it away. Not that I did it wrong and it wouldn't lay flat. Just saying. So I have tricks when it comes to assembling. Okay, so I'll take pictures of these and put them on my blog. So here are the papers. This is for, okay, since this is out, let me stamp the words, the thank you words. These words are really nice in here. Thank you for inspiring me. There's so many people that inspire me. Have a perfect birthday. We could do anything together. What a beautiful day for love. That would be great for anniversary or wedding day. And this one right here is what sold me. You are a real blessing to everyone around you. I have a lot of friends that they're just wonderful people. And they deserve something like that. So stamp this right here. Okay. And the dies. So for today's project, we'll be using just 2 dies. This one is from the Flowers of Home, and it will cut out the flower. But for right now, we will use this one. Okay, I have that ready. So it looks like it's time to do the card. So like the template, I scored this at 5 1/2 right here, and 6.5. So I'm just going to do a soft fold on those. And then this other piece, I scored it at 4 1/4 and then 5 1/4, right here and here. So now I have these two pieces. This one is going to go pretty much like that. Let me see, how are you seeing that? Okay. And then this one is going to go right to there. But before we get started assembling, I'm going to take my bone folder and kind of confirm the folds. I'm making sure that this here lines up with that, because if it was a little bit off, see how this is kind of poking out, the whole card would be a little bit off. So I'm just going to make sure that it's square. And then the same with this one. And then I'll do the same with the little piece, the movement piece. See, that one is off. I could see it hanging out over here. So I'm going to give it just a little push. And then same with this one. Okay. That's all the folding we have to do. So for the inside, there is this piece. You know what? I'm in a liquid glue mood today. Sometimes when you use liquid glue, it kind of makes your card a little bit more substantial, a little bit more stiff than if you were to use your tape runner. And I think this card might need just a little bit of beefing up. Oops. Well, you could see the glue all at the bottom. Here, don't tell anyone. Okay, so there's that piece, just like that. And this is nice because this part is big enough that the card stands up in the end. It stands up perfectly. Okay, and then this is going to go onto, so there's that, go right onto here. So I have plans for these other 5 cards. You know, when I have one stamp set, I have like 20,000 ideas of what to do with it. And it's really hard to narrow it down. So I kind of like doing this. 5 cards. 5 is definitely better than just 1. But you don't know how many stamp sets I have. And have I even opened it and used it? No. So it's a good thing to use it at least 5 times. Okay, so that panel is on there. So that panel, this panel, that's going to be the back, and just that panel is decorated. Okay, so I think we can assemble it right now. So with this down, this piece folded in, let me make sure that you can see. Not that it's that hard, but this piece right here, I fold it over. And I'm going to put adhesive just on this little bit. And you know what? Thinking about that, I'm going to do a little scribble right here, which means adhesive is just on this portion. Okay, so, and if you can, do it a little bit thin. If you do it too thick, it moves around plenty good, but it takes a while to dry. Get it right there to the edge. Okay, so now with this part closed, you could see the black, and the glue is just on that little 1/2 inch flap. I'm going to put this in the middle, and there is a little bit of leeway where you can have it with a little bit of the designer paper, or you can have it way over to the side. I think this one I did it, this one I'm going to put right up to the seam right here. So I'm putting that down, and I'm making sure that this amount equals that amount, and then I'm pushing this down. So now we know at this point the card will fit in the envelope because it's completely flat. Making sure it's not crooked. That looks good. Then I want to make sure I didn't get glue in the wrong spots. Everything is still moving. Okay, good. And now I'm going to put glue pretty much where this panel is going to attach right here. But I'm not sure exactly how far to go over, so I'm going to do maybe half of it here. And then I know it's going to attach over here. I want to get it on that little black lip underneath the designer paper. And again, just a little bit, a thin layer. Then I'll close it. Oop, I went over a little there. Boy, today is a day of doing a little too much glue. And before it dries too much, I'm going to make sure that this is parallel with that. I don't want my panel going downward. And then also, let me make sure it still moves a little bit, because if the glue from down under here stuck to the base, it wouldn't move at all. But it's looking good. Okay, so I'll just let that sit. And now for the flowers. The flower is a singular flower. It's this stamp right here. And I didn't leave any paper out, but that's okay. I have this one done. And before you say, wait a minute, I want to see how you colored that. As with this one, there's one colored on the back, and we'll color the one on the back together. But I wanted to use some of the new colors. And so what do you think about this green? This is Parakeet Party Green. It is my new favorite. The minute I saw it, I knew I liked it. I compared it with Granny Apple. It's very different. But I wanted this card to be bright because of the black. It's a little bit heavy, but I want it to be somewhat fluorescent-like. So there it is. This one has a little more pastels going on with the fresh freesia. Okay, so for the words, thinking maybe right in the middle. This one I put it lower, but wherever you like is fine. Already used the die. So I'm going to put dimensionals on, and I'm going to avoid putting dimensionals over the hole. Not that I did that first go round. When I put the words on the card, I was like, well, I need to move that dimensional. And this, I'm fine if the flower goes over the words a little bit. Just like that. And then this will go on with dimensionals. So today is our anniversary. Today is 33 years. We're going to go out for dinner tonight. And I woke up and on the counter is beautiful red roses. They are pretty, and it has eucalyptus leaves in there. So pretty. He's so thoughtful. And you know what? I never know what to do other than, let's go for dinner. Because if we got flowers, we'd have a lot of them around here, which personally I like, but, and he's like, no, you don't need to, because I already got flowers. Sparkle and Shine Sequin Assortment. This little assortment, if you look at it, you're like, well, there's stars in there. Yes, that's great. That's really good for Christmas time. And the Sparkle and Shine, yeah, it's good for Christmas, but there's a lot of little iridescent sequins in there, which I love. I think they're perfect for this project. And there's, let me hold this up so you can see these little bubble dots. Like here's one. That one, I don't know if you could see it. I know I have another one on here. 1, 2, 3. But they're just so cute. It's like a drip of water. Oh, I should put that on the flower. Okay. Let me see what I can find. So in this one, the one in Fresh Freesia, I did 7 dots of glue. So this time I'm going to do, how about 3? 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 5. The ribbon's going to cover up. And then I'm going to do like little dewdrops on here. Boy, I hope this comes out. I don't know. I'm kind of winging it. Okay, so forgot how many sequins I had. Dip it in the glue. Oh, there's a dewdrop. And I'll show you what that is here in just a minute. I don't think I want any of the silver sequins. But that's the dewdrop upside down. There's probably a real word for that. There it is. Can you see that? Okay. I need to get these on the flower. So I'm going to put the dewdrops on the flower. And then I found a sequin right here. Sequin. And that's an iridescent sequin. Don't want silver ones this time. There's a sequin. Okay, right there you go. Another sequin. Okay, so it looks like I have five bits for, oh, there's a dewdrop. Need more glue. I should use my picker-upper tool. Okay, and it might be kind of hard to see at first because there's glue under it, so it looks white, but really it's clear. So I think I put one down here. No, I'm not remembering. Okay, I need one more dewdrop, and I think another 1, 2, 3. I don't know where it is. 3. Okay, right here. Okay, so 4 sequins and 3 dewdrops. Sequin. Iridescent sequin, which is perfect for my bright color flowers. Okay, and now one more. I don't know that I could have pulled these out in advance. Hear my phone dinging? Someone's texting me. Hope that's iridescent. Here we go. Ooh. Well, these things are really fun to have. Okay, I see a few of them in here, but they have sequins covering them. Oh, there it is. A little more glue. Okay. Got some stars to go with it. And I think in the mix is, so when there's a sequin, there's a hole in it. And I think I have some of the punched out little holes in there too. I'm hoping that one will stay on. I'll take that little bit away. There's 2 little bits. Okay. So I think we're done with these. But a little bit goes a long way. Okay, so whenever I do sequins, if they have a hole in the middle, I like to take the opportunity to put just a little dab of glue right through that hole so that it kind of locks the sequin in place. Okay, so for ribbon, this fresh freesia one, I'm using fresh freesia ribbon. Looks great. But there's new stuff. Look at these sparkly ones. So I did color this with Sweet Sorbet, and this is Sweet Sorbet ribbon, but to me it looks a bit pinker than the color of the blends. So one of them is off. I don't know which one it is, but I'm not too sure it's going to work. But I was thinking maybe the parakeet. And you know what? Even the parakeet looks different than what the marker shows. But I have one ready to go just to test it, and I like it. I like how that looks. I'm fine with it being darker because I want the star of the show to be the flowers. So I'm good with that. So let's get a glue dot. I'm going to fold it in half because this ribbon is a little bit small. And this ribbon is kind of cool how it, like we had one in copper before that would do this, where you would think, oh, okay, that's a 1/8 of an inch, but it kind of opens up if you want it to be wider. It's kind of like a woven mesh type. And I love the sparkle on it. Very pretty. Okay, so that will go right here in the glue dot. Then I'll trim the ends and we'll work on the back. But these ribbons are pretty. I love this one. This one I think is Starry Sky. Starry Sky. And I think Starry Sky is, maybe it's even darker than that. But they just complement it. Okay, so for the back, because this one I have the words, oop, another star. Where do they come from? Oh, and another star. Today must be a special day. Like, how do these all get out? They're like, let me out. Give me just a little static. I'll jump out. Might have to just say forget it. Oh, there's another one. Okay, close those little crazies out. Okay, so for the back, I have one partially done. And all I did was color the parakeet party dark and then a little bit of the flower centers. So I need to put the words on here in Memento, and I stamped this in Memento because I was going to color it in the blends. So I'll put this right here. Okay, so when coloring, I like to do the dark first and do 2 layers of it, which is what I've done here. And then go back with the light. And this one, usually I would do 2 layers of the light, but I'm fine with just 1 layer this time because I want it a little bit light. I want it to be kind of on the fluorescent side because against the black front, it needs to be really bright and vibrant. So I'm just filling in everywhere that the parakeet party dark is not on the leaves. And then we'll do the full coloring on the big flower. Then the little flower, I wanted it kind of like white with just a hint of color. So on the Fresh Freesia one, I did it with a hint of balmy blue light. So the flowers look almost white. And on this one, I'll do it with saffron. Okay, so the leaves are done. So here's saffron light. And I'm just going to do it in toward the center and just 1 layer of color. And I could take my my color lifter and make it even a softer change from saffron to the white edges. But because it's so small, I think it'll be just fine just to leave it as is without doing the color lifter. So for the flower centers, I was thinking about all kinds of bright colors because that's what I was going for. But then I thought, what about like a neutral? So you kind of don't even notice the flower centers and you just notice the flower petals. So that was Crumb Cake, and I'm just doing a few dots just to give it a little bit of texture. Okay, and now finally, dark, sweet sorbet. So what's nice about Stampin' Up! Stamps is right now you're like, I don't know how to shadow it. So right now I'm going just over the areas that Stampin' Up! Told me that should be a dark part of the flower, or shadows, or just like a low area. So I don't even have to try to figure out what do I do light and what do I do dark. See how there's the dark little streaks? I'm just going to follow those. And as with the green leaves, I'm going to do 2 layers of color. Bo is on the couch, breathing deep. He must be exhausted. It's been really clingy today. Where he just comes and he looks at me, and he knows if he does that dog smile thing, he gets his way. And I think I've spent all morning petting the dog. Finally, I asked him if he wanted to go, well, we call it night-night, which just means go up on the couch and lay on his little bed there. Finally. He's like a kid. And I know, Carolyn, you're saying it's my fault, but that's okay. So I'm doing the second layer of color just because I want this to be really dark. This color, the Sweet Sorbet, isn't as obvious when you do the second layer. Uh-oh, hold on. Darn cleaner. She needs to clean my room. I've been doing a lot of die cutting of these little pieces. They're all over on the floor, so she really does need to come and visit, but not right now. She's kind of noisy. Isn't that pretty? I remember at first when Granny Apple came out, I think it was an in color. I'm like, who is going to want an Astro Bright? Who's going to want to stamp and work with a color that is that neon bright? Well, guess what became one of my favorite colors? And then I thought the same of Poppy Parade, but I use it all the time. I'm still kind of thinking that way about Tahitian Tide. It's a really bright, light blue, but I bet you it's going to become a favorite because that's just how things seem to go. Okay. And there it is. Isn't that pretty? I just love how it's glowing. I love the brightness of it. Tahitian Tide. I don't know what, I don't know. We'll become friends here soon, I'm sure. So, this is it for project number 1 of Blessings of Home. I have a few more fun folds coming. And I was trying to make all the cards really different, but there's primarily 2 focal points in the set. So yeah, it will be focused on those, but it's pretty. Ooh, crooked. Good thing it's liquid glue. Can I save it? Nope. Lift it off. Okay. It's easier to work when it's flat. Okay, so that is it for today's project. Thank you for tuning in, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. I do watch those to see what you like. Okay, have a great day. Bye.